So a student of mine recently asked me about the blessings that we say at the end of the blessing of the morning. We say, "Blessed are you, God, who didn't make me, um, who didn't make me a non-Jew. Blessed are you, God, who didn't make me a slave, and blessed are you, God, who didn't make me a woman." So if you and he said, like, it's very strange, like, why making it in such a confusing way, and it seems negative, and how much hatred or like paper and ink has been spilled on just those three things, because it really appears that we're putting ourselves higher than those ones, or bringing those others down. And at first, we have to realize that everything is a matter of perspective, meaning that if you understand that everything that God asks us to do, and everything that the rabbis write, speaking especially of the previous rabbi, the rabbi who made the Siddur, the rabbis who established the foundation of Judaism according to God's law, we have to understand that everything is made for the world to be a better place. Everything is made for the good. It's something positive. So if we see something negative in it, it is usually our lenses, contact lenses, that are blurry. It is our negative perspective, is our, I would say, liberal instinct that says, what is this? This doesn't make sense. How can it be? So we have to try to change lenses and try to realize that it has to be a positive message. So let me reframe those three things and tell you why those three things we say every morning. Why is it so important to say those three things every morning? It is basically, obviously there are many answers. I'm speaking on one of the reasons. But I think it's the strongest reason, and it fits together. Why are those three things put together also? Slave, women, and non-Jew, it seems like it's putting all those three in one category, and they're the same. God forbid. As a Jew, we have to love non-Jews, we have to respect non-Jews, we have to love women, we have to respect women. Women are higher than men according to Judaism. The man is nothing without the woman. This is stated straight by the rabbis. If you do anything to a non-Jew, you'll have to go to hell to fix it. And also, slave in Judaism is a servant, but the servant is not the slavery without speaking like slave, like it used to be in the past. The slave you have to give your bed to a slave. We should not call them slave. We should call them workers, or someone who works for us. A maid. You have a maid that comes to you. She's not a slave. You won't call her slave. But in Judaism, you call her slave. But it's because the translation is wrong. Because Even means avodah, work. So working, but you work for someone. So that's why it's called a slave. So already, right, let's change the perspective. You have to love your worker, you have to love women, and you have to love non-Jews. Okay? That's what the rabbi says. Now, second step is all three have to do with responsibilities. Meaning, why is a Jewish man, have to do those three things? Because his natural instinct, human nature, physical human nature, materialistic nature, is to not want to take responsibilities. We want to go with the flow. We want to have not too much to do. We just want to relax. And the Jew's mission is not to relax. So we are trying to reinforce into the man that idea of responsibility and not wanting to be like the other. How many times I've heard Jews say, "Oh, I wish I was a non-Jew. I won't have to do so many commandments. Oh, I wish I was just a worker in this company and I don't have to have the stress of the boss of being a CEO." Not everybody wants to be president. Most people don't want. It's too much responsibilities, right? a lot of people just want to be workers. They just want to be slave in Egypt, so to speak. I just want to be in the system and being, how to say, fun to disappear in the system, not being known, and just do my own thing, and everybody let me alone, and I don't have to take responsibilities. And number three, with the women, a lot of men wish, oh look, women, they don't have to go to pray 3 times. They don't have to go to shul. It's relaxing. They don't have to work technically. They can stay home and go to the gym. So they can. This is the human nature of men that comes out and say, "Oh, I wish I had it easier." So those 3 blessings are reinforcing into man's heart and mind that you have to think like greatness. You have to take responsibility, and you have to understand that you are here to make a difference, not that women and workers cannot make a difference, or non-Jews. We can all make a difference. But as a Jew, since this is your mission, since this is why you're here for, you're born with that specific quality, that specific gender, that specific soul, don't waste it. Make sure you don't you thank God for giving you so much responsibility. Thank God for giving you so much potential. Thank you, God, for giving for making me who I am, basically. So really, it's a celebration of who one is, and in no way it is to put down non-Jews or workers, people who are not on the head, or women, God forbid. So I think if you every morning say those 3 blessings with the right intention, then right away you're filled up with, let's do this. As a man, I have those responsibilities. As a Jew, I have those responsibilities. And as a worker in this world, I have responsibility to be at the head, not at the tail. To be a light into the nations, and not to fall into the Egyptian slavery, which is being just part of society and following society stuff. So we have to fight against it. Plus, I want to add up about the women that what does the woman say? Shasani kertsono, that thank God that you made me according to your ratzon, which is the highest thing in Kabbalah about what's the Ratzon Hashem, what does God's will, God's want, meaning that the woman say, thank you God for making me exactly like I was supposed to be, like how you wanted. Because the woman has a state of perfection, and the men don't even say that. The woman is made exactly like she's supposed to. There's a perfection of woman. She doesn't need a Brit Milah, she doesn't need a circumcision, because she's on a physical level perfect, and her soul therefore is a bit more perfect than men, because she's already comes with that physical perfection. So there's a parallel in physical, spiritual perfection, and she has much less thing to do. The reason she doesn't have as much responsibility is because she has fixed already herself, the womanhood in the world. Eve, she has fixed more than men, and we know that we always come out of slavery or bondage or exile thanks to Nashim Tzidkaniot, the women who are just, and therefore they have just to celebrate the greatness of being a woman, of being exactly like Hashem wants, and they have to fulfill the role as a woman. So in no way you see that we're trying to put the woman down, God forbid. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll have an amazing celebration of your responsibility every morning.